The Plymouth Voyager minivan. Not a bad method of transportation for a family of 5. The Killens got theirs in the summer of 1992, and by the winter of 95 it was still going strong. Like any American car, it had its problems. White smoke blew through the vents when the air conditioner was turned on, the heater wouldn't work at speeds over 35, and the 1.4-liter Mitsubishi engine made passing on the highway nothing but a ridiculous pipe dream. Still, for the most part, it was a pretty decent car. One night in December of 1995, though, its true and violent colors shone through. In a chilling event none of them will soon forget, 2 of the Killen brothers and 3 of their friends realized just how serious the consequences can be when American engineering is combined with bad luck and youthful foolishness.
Well, we were hanging out at the Reed College parking lot, and there wasn't a whole lot going on, so we decided to take off. After all, it is just a parking lot. So we hopped in the Voyager. My brother Scott's driving, and I'm in the middle seat.
Which seat exactly?
The seat that is in or on the 2-person bench. It's the first seat you see when you open the sliding door.
So you were in the exact middle of the car?
Yeah, pretty much. So
the sliding door is on your immediate right.
Yeah, the sliding door is on my immediate right. There's kind of a space between the door and the seat, but yeah, pretty much. So we hop in, my brother just floors it, and 2 seconds later, before I even have a chance to fasten my seatbelt, wham!
Sean's brother Scott was in the driver's seat that night.
Now listen, I was driving. When you're driving, you're supposed to keep your eyes on the road. You can't be looking behind you all the time or you're going to get in a wreck. I mean, you got to be paying attention to what's in front of you and what's to the sides of you. The only time you look behind you is through the mirror, and then you can't see shit anyway inside the car because it's too dark. So I mean, yeah, sure, I heard something going on back there. But how the fuck am I supposed to know they're not just fucking around? I mean, really, Sean's not exactly been the model passenger over the years. He's pulled some pretty crazy shit, and I guess I just assumed that's what was going on. I mean, really, I gotta drive. I can't be paying attention to what's in front of me and what's behind me. I mean, front, back, shit. I gotta drive.
So I'm being violently slammed against the door. I have no idea what's going on, and it hurts like crazy. I mean, it's over and over and over again. I didn't even really have time to think of what I should do because every time I'd get a thought into my head, pow, I'd hit the door with my head again.
Charlie Austin, a baseball teammate of Sean's, was sitting next to him on the left side of the van's middle bench seat.
Wow, what was actually happening?
Yeah.
I guess I was pretty much sad, you know?
Sad?
Yeah.
Why?
You know, it's sad to watch your friend die.
You thought he was gonna die?
Shit, I thought he was dead already.
And that made you sad?
Yeah.
Ben Carmini, one of the Killen's oldest family friends, was positioned directly behind Sean in the rear of the van.
See, I thought it was like a ghost, right? Like in the movie The Exorcist or something. I mean, his head wasn't spinning around, but, I mean, it was taking his body and slamming it into the car again and again and again. And I was freaking out. I mean, it's my friend, right? And, like, you know, there's a ghost in him, and what can you do? It's a ghost, right? So, I mean, I was worried it was going to get me next, right? Because you know, they slam their host to death or whatever, and then it possesses me and, like, starts slamming me. I don't need to be slammed, man, you know? And so, you know, I guess I was just freaked out, man.
The one thing I really remember thinking about the whole deal was that Ben, who was sitting right behind me, was beating me over the head with a baseball bat. And I just remember thinking, why? I've known Ben for 11 years. Why would Ben want to hit me over the head with a baseball bat? But I really couldn't come up with a very good answer to that because I was still rebounding off the door every couple of seconds.
Can you show us what that looked like?
Yeah, sure. It was kind of like...
As the unseen force continued to slam Sean into the door, Ken Manning, riding in the front passenger seat, was strangely oblivious to what was happening.
Okay. I'm sorry, man. I'm ready. Okay.
Ken. Was there any kind of substance abuse going on the night all this happened?
Well, I wouldn't really say you know, I don't think that, you know, well, I wasn't really paying attention.
So Scott finally stops the car, and he turns around and he's like, "Hey guys, cut it out back there, will ya?" But we're just like, "Holy shit," like, we weren't playing around. So, well, we get out of the car, and my shoulder's still hurting like a bitch, and we're trying to figure out what in hell was going on. And it turns out the whole thing was because of the seatbelt.
It was the seatbelt.
The fucking seatbelt.
In a bold stroke of engineering genius, the Chrysler Corporation, in order to facilitate the exchangeability of the middle and rear bench seats of the Voyager, had designed the anchor on that particular seatbelt to be movable. Thus, if the anchor broke, as it had in the case of the Killen's van, the end of the seatbelt was free to move. On that fateful night, the belt, after the sliding door had been closed upon it, was free to move far enough that it reached all the way back to the rear wheel of the van. Since Sean had never had a chance to actually buckle the belt, each time the wheel ran over its end, the seatbelt rapidly tightened, hooking under his right arm and slamming him into the side of the car with considerable force. The end of the belt would then be freed from the wheel, and gravity would pull Sean back into his seat. Consequently, the end of the seatbelt would be placed back in front of the wheel, and the whole process would start all over again.
So we eventually called Chrysler in order to threaten to sue them or something.
Did you actually get to talk to someone?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but we called, and my dad's like, "Dude, your seatbelt almost killed my son." And they're like, "Well, that's pretty normal."
That's normal?
Yeah, no kidding. We're like, "That's what you said about the air conditioner."
In spite of the Killen's legal threats, Chrysler remained unresponsive. Fortunately, Sean suffered no major physical damages, a dislocated shoulder being the worst of his injuries. Today he leads a normal, healthy life, and rarely thinks of his brush with ironic death. Still, for Sean and the rest of the people in the Voyager that night, the interior of a minivan may never quite feel safe again.
Alicia, you were Sean's girlfriend. This must have been a pretty traumatic experience for you.
Actually that whole thing happened before we met.
Oh. Oh, well, you must be pretty relieved that it turned out okay. I mean, otherwise you might never have met.
Well, we broke up like a year ago.
Oh.
Can I go now?
Yeah, sure.